Boom, boom. This is Kendra, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. All right, we got a bit of Azur Lane up today. So we got the event going on. It's been a pretty good event for me here. We'll show you here shortly why. This event's going to be ending on the 4th, so this event is going to be ending tomorrow, which is why I wanted to get the video out today so that you could all get in there, tear these things up, and make sure that you do have enough to actually get what you need to inside the event. So we've got a UR character up. I've got all of the actual characters for this. Did not have any trouble. Yorktown 2 came to me fairly quickly, so I was happy about that. So we've got Yorktown 2 right here. We've got Hornet 2. We've got Northampton 2. And then we've got Hammond 2. And we've got Langley 2. So those are all the actual chips that you need to get. Hornet 2 is actually inside the shop, and you can get I think it's Hammond 2 is inside the event. So you got to build Yorktown, Northampton, and Langley need to be built. I got them all fairly quickly, and as you can see, I'm well on the way to maxing them out, limit breaking them, which is the other thing that you have to do. As you always know, to get the actual checks reward, you'll have to obtain Yorktown. Do not have to limit break her fully, but the others need to be fully limit broke. So you need to be on that. As always, you will have a week after tomorrow to complete that. The reason is there's no use spending the 8,000 currency to get Hornet from the shop if you can build her. The build ends tomorrow when the sorties end, so you don't want to be purchasing Hornet until after you've done all of the pulls or all of the builds that you're going to do. Don't waste the 8,000. As I said in the previous event, or I'm sorry, in the previous video, you need to get about 45, unless you build. You can get by with between 35 and 40 if you build Hornet and don't have to purchase her in the shop. I built her, so I need between 35 and 40, so that's what I'm going for. Okay, I've got 24,960, but I've already purchased 10,000 for the aircraft and maxed it out. So I wanted to go ahead and get it since I needed it, and it's nice to have a rainbow plane. Okay, so I went ahead and purchased that. So I had 34,960. After tomorrow, I'll probably have about 38, and that should be enough because I do not have to purchase her inside of here, so I don't need to spend 8,000. I could spend that 8,000 on getting the rest of this for this F6F Hellcat. And then you want to get the arrays, you want to get the parts, you want to get the reimbursement, you want to get all the augmenters, you want to get everything that you can. You need about roughly 40 to do it, between 35 and 40. Okay, so that's what you wanted to shoot for. The event, the story was pretty good. I liked it, as always, but, you know, would have liked to have seen another UR ship, as I'm sure most of the people have already put up there. But Yorktown, she's not a bad ship. It's really nice, you know, sort of throwback to, you know, Yorktown, because Yorktown has always been, from the story perspective, she's been sick, and you know, that's why, because she was sank at, you know, she was sank. Okay, so not much else you could say about Yorktown. So it's nice to have a version of Yorktown that's you know, that's really nice and powerful, harkening back to the USS States. But there were other ships. Savitskaya Soyuz, Dragon Imperi flagship. There were other ships out there that probably could have been a little bit better. They probably should have done those first before they resorted back to that. But I'm not sure what they were doing. But I got her fairly quickly. I pulled her 2 days ago. As you can see, I have the majority of my cubes are still left. Okay, I'm not going to go for this simply because of the fact that I don't need to. I got so much of the actual currency used to purchase these UR prototype bullets that I don't even need to remotely think about pulling copies of her. Plus, you'll be able to get copies of her inside of the event for Hammond. There'll be, if you get up a certain height, you'll be able to get the copies. But the purchases inside of the actual prototype shop right here, they are. As you can see, it costs 4,000. I've got 44,000, so I could purchase like 10 of them right now if I wanted to. But yeah, I'm only going to need to purchase 1 or 2. Just wait until after the event to see. So yeah, but it was a pretty interesting story, you know. The interdimensional travel, bringing them over type thing. Uh, Pretty good event. So cleared it out. Didn't have any trouble for the most part. It was pretty simple in that regards. Completed the SPs, so it was good. I'll throw some stuff at the X to see if I can actually do it. I got in close, but I just don't normally focus on them very much. Just run the SP because I can get the 800 from that, and then I'll put together a big team, and we'll see. I've actually been able to beat a couple of them in a couple of events, but I didn't get the one in the last one. Last one was a little bit tough, so hopefully we can see what we can do inside of this one. You need a lot of the priority ships and whatnot. That's what helpful in that. And I do have a lot of the priority ships. I tend to focus on the ones that might be viable or potentially meta breaking. So, and there are some of the ships that you can use, and some of those that are just really powerful ships. Really don't use them much inside of PvP, but they're actually something that's useful in PvE or clearing stages because of the fact that they have certain buffs or certain skills that make them ideally suited for that. I will be coming back and scraping those up. Right now, just focusing on clearing out these. Nothing in that. No 2-hour ones here. Get more oil on 2 hours one. So I've been hoarding oil, as I'm sure, but as you can see, I've seriously dented my supply of oil. I had like 9, but I ran a lot of it in this event. So everything went pretty smooth, but yeah, you got one more day. So build goes away. This goes away tomorrow. So if you have not gotten all the ships, you need to. Yorktown, you need to build. Haman, you need to build. Northampton, you need to build. Hornet, you can get from the actual shop. So if you haven't built all 3 of these ships, you need to get them built if you want it to actually complete the actual event, which is to get the actual chat screen, which is right here. As you can see, I'm going to be able to get it quite easily. I've got all the ships, and I'll be able to max them all out. So shouldn't be a piece of cake to actually get what's needed. I've only got 1 limit break on each Northampton and Hornet, and they'll be all done, and that should be it. That'll throw me up to the 28 that I need, plus I've acquired Yorktown. So, and you'll be able to get the 28 that you need. Okay? But like I say, 7 days after the actual event ends tomorrow before you actually have to do that. So, after you do your builds tomorrow at the end of the day, if you still don't have Hornet, you're going to have to spend 8,000 to get Hornet inside the shop. So keep that in mind. And then you're going to have to fully get her up to 70, fully limit breaker. So you're going to need the bullets and whatnot. So make sure that you got all that in line so that you can do it. Good ships. None of the ships are bad. They're about standard. Yorktown's not in any way shattering in terms of skill set. She's got a pretty good skill set, but she's not going to do anything to upset the meta. So if you're still running the standard meta that we've talked about numerous times on here, no change to that. Don't know what they're going to do for the next Euro ship. Haven't heard anything. We're hoping that we'll get the Sovetskaya Soyuz. That's what we've been hoping. Yeah, she is the flagship for the Northern Parliament, the Northern Fleet, which is seen her numerous times and numerous cutscenes, but we haven't actually got her yet. So the Northern Parliament is still without its flagship. Dragon Emperor still without a flagship as well too, but not something that's been focused on. The Emperor's one of those. They got some pretty nice ships. Running some of the higher levels with a team of Dragon Emperor ships is because of the dual carrier, dual destroyer capabilities they have. It's making them something that can be. But there's been a bunch of new ships that came out. So if you want to run 13, and above now, you can do that with other ships. It's not necessary to have those ships. The actual equipment inside of the shop, you definitely want to get that the Rainbow fighter, and you want to get the blueprints for the other fighter as well too. So make sure you get those first, and then after that, scrape up what you can. Take the parts. After the parts, you might want to consider going for the augmentation or the cognitive arrays, not the chips, the cognitive arrays, as there are something that's a little bit harder. So you want to make sure you prioritize those. after that, whatever you want to get, augmentation modules, cognitive chips, all that stuff's good. If you have about 40, you should be able to get most of it if you don't have to purchase Hornet. Okay, yeah, so all that tomorrow after the next day. So tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, get up, event's over, build's gone. Go ahead and start tearing into purchase Hornet, start building her up to complete the event before it expires out. Did not have much in terms of new reviews. The ticket that they gave me and none of the ships in there are stuff that I don't have. They're already maxed out. So I'll probably just use the ticket, get the ship, and then retire it so I can get the mats and spend it in the store to get some books, gold books or something. I don't know. We'll have to talk about that. I'll have to think about what I want to do with it. But yeah, it's a okay event. Good story. Good, good rewards. They did give us 200. You did get 200 gems inside of your mail. I immediately spent those on my depot because, as you know, not my depot. I'm sorry, my dock space. I needed 10 slots, so I do now have the extra 10 slots over. So I'm in good shape. That'll hold me off for a while, and then we'll go from there. Now, we haven't heard any updates of what the next event's going to be. As you know, they finished up this event. They'll have 7 days, fluff days, which will just have secondary reruns, use events, usually something like that, before. And then once we hear a little bit more about the next event, but of course, don't expect another UR ship for a few months at least. So probably see something February or March before we'll be seeing any type, what the next UR ship is and where they're going with the storyline, because this is a sort of side story. I know it has something to do with trying, trying to figure out the priority ships, in this case Anchorage, and the abnormalities in her hull, and then using the reality lens to analyze those, and that of course shunt them into an alternate dimension where Yorktown is a full, healthy, super powerful ship, and they bring her back. So that's where we're at this particular point. So it was really good to watch. I like it. It's nice to have a good Yorktown, especially if you're a USS Eagle Union fan, as I always am. They are always have been. Although I really do like the ships that they come out with the Ironblood ships. But yeah, you can make a pretty good team with just Ironblood ships. But you can make a pretty good one carrier heavy with the Eagle Union. You can have tank carriers in the back and really take the opposing team down pretty quick. But we'll have to see what they come up with next. They've defied the fan base multiple times, but it's really difficult to get a sort of an idea which way they're going. They've got several ships out there, but I'm sure that they've got the flagships for the remaining fleets on their mind. I would like to see I myself would like to see a Queen Elizabeth that's not an epic ship. I'm sorry, I would like to see a Queen Elizabeth that's UR. That's just the way I look at it from that perspective. It's really hard to describe. And she's not really a powerful ship in terms of that. She's more for comedy relief, I think, than anything. But so I think that's why they keep her there. But I would at least like to get her maybe up to an SR with a retrofit or something. But we'll have to see. I know some people have been talking about that, but most of the people have been wanting, there's various ships, Yamato, they want to see that, and a few other things. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what they come up with in the future. But the event ends tomorrow, so make sure that you run the sorties. Do as many sorties as you possibly can. Try to get between 35 and 40. If you've already built Hornet inside the build, then you can probably get by with 35 to 40. But if you didn't, you probably want to go between 40 and 45 just to be on the safe side, just so you can get most of the stuff. I mean, we're not looking to buy out the shop, but that's where we're at this point. But you definitely want to get your hands on the planes, the fighters that are in there, because those are going to be really important for really important for future builds and whatnot. It's always nice whenever they throw a rainbow piece of equipment up that you can get fairly easily. It's only 10,000. So it's nice to be able to snatch that up, and you don't have to go through the the actual build process, going to Operation Sovereign and getting the required mats to make the next level of equipment. It's always nice when they throw that stuff out, and it's very obtainable fairly easily. So that's why you definitely want to make sure that you do prioritize getting that plane if at all possible. All right, so that's what I got. Everything else was pretty much standard. We really didn't see anything in here that was unusual. The New Year, they had some excellent skins up. Risque, as always. The build was pretty much standard. A milestone. This is for Amon. You can actually get one of the UR Bullen inside of here, right here. So if you can get to 30,000, you'll get a Bullen, a UK prototype Bullen, just one of them. But hey, it's 4,000 that you don't have to spend on that. Then they had these beach side, which you unlock these, get chance stories. It was pretty. Some of them interesting. The ship, like I say, I had all these fully built out, so they were already maxed out. So really wasn't useful to me. Call to arms, of course, the actual the building of the ships. Make sure that you complete that. Cosmic transportation. This was associated with the previous event. Make sure you did finish that to get the actual. This told you what the storyline was going to be about in the next. So I hope you did it just to get the specialty item. Okay. The actual vacation resort was interesting. There were some pretty good. They had a good souvenir shop. Make sure you purchase everything in that. You get the tickets by building the actual ships inside of the open air spring. You get the coins from that inside of the missions and build all of these and put them in. And you do that to get the rewards. Mini game allowed you to actually get. You cleared that. You get the actual skins. So you definitely want to partake in that. Try your luck. Purchased all of the. Get them all that. There's some pretty nice rewards inside of there. Okay, so it was a pretty good event. It's pretty much standard, and you got the 200 gems inside your mail. And I said normally they normally the previous years they've done it inside of a little stocking stuffer that you would get, and there would always be some gems in some of them, but it was hit or miss. This they just gave you a flat 200. Okay, so that's and you can use that for dock space or whatever tickles your fancy. But I snatched it right up. I was running low. As I said, I only had like 3 or 4 slots left with some of the ships. Now that I have more space, I can finish obtaining those ships that are hard to get. And we can go from there. But yeah, so good event. It's coming to an end tomorrow. So go ahead and make sure that you've got everything taken care of. And we'll do another event in a couple of days. Go over what's new. Probably going to be some reruns events. Might be something interesting we'll have to see. But other than that, thanks for watching the video. Remember to subscribe, hit the bell. You get notified each time I drop a video. Like and share the video as always helps the channel. This is Kenner coming at you from the corner, signing out.